book fans, and welcome to another exciting edition of Cammy's Comic Corner. I'm your host as always, Cammy. Now, this week was an amazing, explosive week for comics. So explosive that I had to change my Fast Five twice. And although it's always sad when I gotta say, okay, do I like Invincible more or Big Hero 6? You gotta make those tough decisions, and that's where I am, on the front lines, making those tough decisions every show. But enough about the Fast Five. Let's get on to the pick of the week. From Icon, a subsidiary of Marvel, we have Criminal, Volume 2, Number 5, written by Ed Brubaker and art by Sean Phillips. Now, if you're like me, you like a good crime book every now and then. Crime movie, crime book, whatever. Criminal has always been on the ball. Every issue from Volume 1 to up to Volume 2 has been just great. And Hollywood, if you're watching, this is the kind of stuff you should be getting involved in. Making it accessible for TV, like HBO Showtime, or the movies. You'll get a blockbuster hit, I'm pretty sure of it. But enough about Hollywood, let's get on to the gory, juicy details. We follow once again the artist/protagonist, Jacob, as last issue we saw he was pretty much kidnapped and forced against his will, kidnapped inside his own house, mind you, to make some fake, counterfeit FBI IDs. He was seduced by this girl, thought she was really into him. He kind of poured out his heart and soul to her. And then she's like, oh, you know, great for sex, but my boyfriend kind of just wanted you so we could make some counterfeit IDs. And so that's what he's doing in this issue. His captors, Iris and Danny, they're upstairs, always drinking, always fucking, always yelling at each other. While Danny feels like he's 10 years old again, having to hide away in his basement, making these IDs. Well, the day finally comes, he makes them. Apparently, it's going to go down like this. Danny's going to pose as an FBI agent, he's going to get a bunch of unmarked bills, and then he's going to be on his way, fooling the Triad gang or whoever he just ripped off, and making them mad at the FBI. Well, in the car while they're waiting, because Danny didn't want to be a part of the plan, but he got pulled into it anyway, Iris tells him, you know, Danny, he's going to kill you after this is all over with. You know too much. And Danny starts to realize it's true. And even his little voice in the head of his cartoon character, Detective Kafka, even agrees, saying, yeah, you need to get the hell out of here, kid. So they make the pickup, go back to the garage, and it looks like that Danny was just going to pay him for his services. Murder wasn't even across Danny's mind. But Iris freaks out in the backseat and just plugs him full of holes with her gun. And one gets Jacob right in the arm, so he has to get a little medical attention and whatnot. But now comes the tricky part, disposing of this body. 2 more issues left in this story arc. It's gonna be fucking awesome. So if you're not reading Criminal, I highly recommend. If you want a good, gritty crime book, Ed Brubaker does no wrong. So go and do yourself a favor. Go to in-stock trades or whatnot. I think it's like the couple of volumes are under $10 a piece. But yeah. Go, read, enjoy. Now, on to the Fast Five. First up from Marvel, we have Big Hero 6 Number 1. But anyway, this is Japan's version of the Avengers. All these heroes get together, they go off by crime. Apparently they've been in the Marvel Universe for quite some time, but this is my first taste of Big Hero 6. And let me tell you, I had so much fun with this book. It had lots of great action, lots of good scenes, and the art was, you know, it's supposed to be kind of an anime manga style, and it really fit in well. It wasn't like overly like this, hey, this is Trigun or Cowboy Bebop. No, nothing like that. It was a very fun read, and if you're looking for something different and having nothing to do with Secret Invasion or any other type of Marvel teams, I would check this book out. And look at that beautiful front cover. Isn't that great? Next up from IDW Entertainment, we have Welcome to Hoxford Number 2. And like I said last time I reviewed Welcome to Hoxford, Ben Templesmith, you know, don't know what's wrong with them, but for some reason, those guys kind of have something against Russians or something, because in this issue we find out that the origins of these creatures who are eating the inmates, they're kind of come from the old country in Russia, like, you know, where beasts of legends were just nothing but shadows in the mist. They're kind of like werewolves, but not really. They're werewolves, but they live in the shadows. They've been around for centuries, but, you know, their kind has been hunted. Now it's going to be a feeding frenzy in this whole prison, and our our protagonist, I guess you would call him. He's Ray Delgado. He's ready for it. He is God. Well, he's off his medication, so he is God. Very violent, very gruesome artwork, but I can't. It's great. It's a great book. You should be picking up this series. Next up, from Marvel, we have Secret Invasion number 6. Yes, the Skrullicious invasion continues, and finally we are getting combat. Lots and lots of combat in this issue. We get Captain America in this issue. We get Thor in this issue. And we get them in Central Park with heroes and villains alike. Like the Hood's gang, the Thunderbolts, the Avengers, and the New Avengers. Everyone's there. Because they all know that, hey, we gotta stay together in order to take on the Skrull armies. And the Skrull armies are ready and waiting. This battle is going to take place in Central Park next issue. And by the way, Nick Fury's god has a hammer. I don't know about you Skrull gods, but yeah. Thor, hammer. Your guys, he loves you. Yeah, peace, hammer, whatever. Next up from DC Comics, we have Green Lantern Corps number 28. Now remember last issue when all those family members of the Green Lanterns were getting killed, their eyeballs raining down on their Green Lanterns, loved ones? Yeah, well, Oa doesn't really like that. So they send out this one lantern, Sarek, who can talk to the dead. He finds out, he projects the image of what the attackers look like. And they're thinking, how can one guy do all this, you know, in such a short amount of time? Well, guess what? It's more than one guy. They're just like a little brotherhood. Like, they're all brothers and sisters that happen to be Sinestro Corps members. So, it's really interesting to see them all get captured, get killed, committing suicide because no one's going to take them alive, especially not a Green Lantern. And now, Sarek has a new duty. He is to find the corpse of the Anti-Monitor and, you know, see what he knows. So, we're going to get some Black Lanterns here pretty soon. I'm pretty sure in The Darkest Night, Sarek might have a bigger role, seeing how he talks to the dead. Very fun stuff. I'm still reading Tomasi's stuff because he is the 9th wonder of the world. I won't tell you what the other 8 are. And finally this week from Marvel, we have Deadpool number 1. It's written by Daniel Way. It's Deadpool. He has the yellow speech bubbles. How can you go wrong? I gotta give props to Marvel for having the balls to launch this book in the middle of a big summer-wide crossover. Because, you know, it still fits into it. The Skrulls are invading this one baseball field. They say, hey, you know, you all gotta, you know, pretty much succumb to us. We're the Empire, woo-woo-woo. Sir, there's a life form down there. And we don't know who it is. And it's Deadpool, but you don't see Deadpool. You see him in the mascot costume. This ridiculous mascot costume, giving the peace sign. And it just gets bloody from there. But Deadpool, the real, after defeating the Skrull warship, being surrounded by all these Skrulls, what does he do? He says, reporting for duty, sir. That's right, he's the Merc with the mount. Whoever pays him will get his services. So now will Wade Wilson be a Skrull army, you know, general, commander, assassin? Or is this some, you know, big plan that he has going in that fucked up, weird, whacked mind of his? Tune in for issue 2 to find out. Well, comic book fans, it was a killer week for comics, and I can't say that I have any more to review, sadly. Fast 5 only limits me to 5 choices. So, if you want more Cammy's Comic Corner goodness, you can go ahead and be our friend on myspace.com/Cammy's Comic Corner. From there, you can click underneath that banner and subscribe to us on iTunes, or subscribe to the RSS feed. Or you can just go to youtube.com/Cammy's Comic Corner. This has been Cammy's Comic Corner. I've been your host, Cammy. I hope all of you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend!